Millions of film fans hold special places in their hearts for Forrest, Jenny, Lieutenant Dan, and the rest of the unforgettable characters of Forrest Gump. But what happened to the ensemble in the years since 1994? We've taken a look back to find out what these stars have been up to.
Run, Forrest, run!
That's Hanna Hall's biggest contribution to the cultural zeitgeist. At the age of 9, she became known for shouting what became Forrest Gump's most quotable line, but she's also worked regularly ever since. As a teen, she scored roles in Sofia Coppola's The Virgin Suicides and the 2007 remake of Halloween, and in more recent years, she appeared in guest roles on Criminal Minds and Masters of Sex. Despite having grown up a lot since her Forrest Gump performance, Hall is still occasionally recognized on the street by sharp-eyed fans who ask her to repeat her famous catchphrase. But she said she doesn't know how to do that Alabama accent anymore, so if you happen to see her, just don't ask. Most of the main folks in Forrest Gump have gone on to long and storied acting careers, but Michael Connor Humphreys is an exception. After what could have been a breakout performance as young Forrest, Humphreys instead quit acting entirely and took a different path, joining the Army. He served 4 years as an infantry soldier, with his service including an 18-month tour of duty in Iraq. According to an interview with the Daily Mail, he tried to keep his brief stint in Hollywood a secret, but it didn't take long for his fellow service members to figure it out and give him the nickname of Gump. Humphreys made a belated return to acting in the 2010s, playing a soldier in the 2011 indie film Pathfinders, In the Company of Strangers, and he also scored a role on the 2019 TV series Night's End. In a 2015 interview, he was said to be living back in his birthplace of Independence, Mississippi, where he pursued a college degree in international relations. Tom Hanks, already an Oscar-winning megastar when he played Forrest Gump, hasn't exactly vanished from view. Hanks executive produced the Emmy-winning HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, played 2 American heroes in Captain Phillips and Sully, voiced a neurotic cowboy in Pixar's Toy Story franchise, and also became the star of Saturday Night Live's most memorable, baffling Halloween skit.
Any questions?
The award-winning actor also remains half of one of Hollywood's most long-standing marriages with wife Rita Wilson, with the two having been married since 1988. He's gained a reputation as one of the loveliest people in Hollywood, and he has a hobby of collecting vintage typewriters. Robin Wright was hardly an unknown when she scored her role in Forrest Gump. Her role on the daytime drama Santa Barbara had already earned her tons of fans, and she also starred in cult fairy tale favorite The Princess Bride. But for whatever reason, Wright spent the next 2 decades flying way under the radar. It's surprising that the role that made her a household name is one she landed at the age of 46, the ambitious, brilliant Claire Underwood on Netflix's House of Cards. Off-screen, Wright has become an outspoken advocate and spokesperson for Pour les Femmes, a sleepwear company that educates and employs women in conflict regions around the world. Sally Field was already a multiple Oscar winner and A-lister when she played the tenacious matriarch of the Gump family. Her legacy as an actor was rock solid no matter what she did after Forrest Gump. But where is she now? After spending several years as a primetime Emmy Award-winning guest star on ER, she joined the ABC drama Brothers and Sisters, for which she won another Emmy. She also turned up in the role of Aunt May in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, opposite Andrew Garfield. In 2017, she earned critical acclaim for playing the challenging role of Amanda Wingfield in a Broadway revival of The Glass Menagerie, while 2018 saw her take on a key supporting role in the Netflix series Maniac. Basically, she's keeping plenty busy as she rounds the corner on her 7th decade. In Sally Field's storied career, Forrest Gump is just a footnote. After his remarkable turn as Forrest Gump's BFF Bubba Blue, Mykelti Williamson has stayed busy in Hollywood, consistently working smaller parts on the big and small screens. Among his more prominent appearances are a regular role on Justified that spanned 3 seasons, a role in the political thriller series 24, and more. Williamson seems to specialize in playing police officers and military men, although he did run afoul of the law when he played Baby O in the cult favorite Con Air. And don't think he's given up serious award season fare. In 2016, he was part of the cast in the Oscar-nominated Fences, directed by Denzel Washington. Unlike some of his co-stars, Williamson has fully embraced his legacy as a Forrest Gump cast member. On Instagram, he's even celebrated his character's signature seafood obsession with Shrimp Saturday, in which he posts shrimp-related selfies and solicits pictures of shrimp from fans around the globe. Gary Sinise has had no shortage of high-profile projects since Forrest Gump, including repeated reunions with Tom Hanks. The two appeared together in Apollo 13 in 1996 and again in The Green Mile in 1999. On the small screen, Sinise has found a comfortable home in primetime procedural drama, playing Detective Mac Taylor in the CSI franchise from 2004 through 2013, then taking over in a lead role in the Criminal Minds franchise in 2016. In a fitting turn considering his military experience in Forrest Gump, Sinise has become a prominent supporter of American service members. He's lended his talents as a narrator to various military documentaries, entertained troops with the Lieutenant Dan Band, and created his own philanthropic organization, the Gary Sinise Foundation, to support service members once they're back home on U.S. soil. Sinise has also been one of the few openly Republican celebrities in Hollywood, founding a group for conservative actors known as the Friends of Abe in 2004 and supporting John McCain's 2008 presidential campaign. However, he disassociated himself from the organization prior to the 2016 election, and his online presence makes it clear that apart from acting, his real priority is supporting the troops. The sleazy principal who admitted Forrest to the public school system in exchange for a roll in the hay with Mrs. Gump will forever be remembered for his awkward, well, this. But when it comes to this actor, you're more likely to recognize him from the TV roles that followed. From 2005 through 2010, Anderson was a series regular on Lost in the role of the kind-hearted crash survivor Bernard. And if you didn't catch him in that, you might know him as the cold-hearted Lee Paxton on Justified. But as ubiquitous as he is on screen, the actor keeps a low profile off-camera. He's been married to the same woman since 1985, is the father of twins, and in his spare time, he likes to write mysteries. In short, Anderson has gone on from Forrest Gump to become what seems like the lifestyle of an average retired dad, except that he's also one of the hardest-working character actors of his generation. If you've seen Forrest Gump, you'll recognize Afemo Omilami as the frothing drill sergeant who complimented Forrest's intelligence. Sort of.
You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted, Private Gump.
The drill sergeant role was only a bit part for Omilami, who was already a Hollywood veteran when Forrest Gump was made. Omilami has appeared in multiple projects every year dating all the way back to 1990. Most recently, he held a major role in True Detective and appeared as the mayor of District 11 in The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. And despite his busy work schedule, Omilami also helps to run Hosea, Feed the Hungry, an Atlanta-based charitable organization designed to combat homelessness and food scarcity. It's practically the end of the movie before he appears on screen, but he's there. Before he saw Dead People, Haley Joel Osment made his big screen debut in the tiny role of Forrest Jr. Needless to say, it was a good jumping-off point for Osment's career. He went on to become a Hollywood icon at the age of 9 thanks to his breakout performance in The Sixth Sense. He took a break to attend college, and while his celebrity status has receded, he's not hurting for work. He reprised his role as Sora in the third Kingdom Hearts game, and continues to appear in smaller parts in movies, TV, and other weird projects. Character actor Geoffrey Blake portrayed the loathsome Wesley, Jenny's abusive bad news boyfriend. He'd already appeared in dozens of movies and TV shows before Forrest Gump, and he went right back to that hustle after filming his part. You may have seen him in one of his many short stints on shows like Renegade, NYPD Blue, multiple CSI series, Criminal Minds, and Grimm. And while they played enemies on screen, Blake and Hanks must have gotten along just fine in real life. Blake went on to film small parts for Hanks' Apollo 13 and Castaway. When Siobhan Fallon Hogan appeared as the hard nut-to-crack bus driver in Forrest Gump, she'd just finished some small but memorable work in 2 comedy institutions. She'd been a cast member on Saturday Night Live for its 17th season in 1991 and 92, and had a recurring role on Seinfeld as Tina, Elaine's weird roommate. Fallon Hogan has played many small parts since, but she's also a frequent muse of provocative filmmaker Lars von Trier. When a nearly grown Forrest gets chased by a bunch of bullies in a pickup truck, he's so fast he manages to outrun them, earning the attention of legendary University of Alabama football coach Paul Bear Bryant. Forrest secures a sports scholarship and becomes a reliable All-American playmaker who's eventually given the chance to meet President John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy may appear in the movie thanks to special effects, but Bear Bryant is played by a flesh-and-blood actor named Sonny Shroyer. It's nowhere near Shroyer's most famous work, though. Prior to his Forrest Gump part, he played Deputy Sheriff Enos on the popular TV series The Dukes of Hazzard. Shroyer was so likable in the role that he got his own spin-off series, simply called Enos, in 1980. Shroyer was nearly 60 years old when Forrest Gump was filmed, and his career has understandably slowed down a bit in the years since. He tended toward movies with ties to the American South, including Ray, a love song for Bobby Long, and multiple adaptations of John Grisham novels. When Forrest heads to New York City to check on his old friend Lieutenant Dan, he finds that his former commanding officer isn't doing well. He's found living in squalor, spending most of his time drinking and cavorting with 2 women of questionable repute, Long Limbs Lenore and Cunning Carla.
Luther, you
Marla Sucharetza, the actress who played Lenore, is presumably a lot nicer than she comes across on screen. Forrest Gump marked her first role in a major movie, and in its wake, she's had a long career as a character actor. She's popped up in TV shows like Seinfeld, Damages, and The Good Wife, and made multiple appearances on different Law & Order series. She also appeared in movies such as The Station Agent and the crude comedy Road Trip, in which she was credited as playing a sperm bank nurse. Hey, acting isn't always glorious. Sometimes you're in a gross-out movie, and sometimes you're in the cast of a beloved Best Picture.
Life is a box of chocolates, Forrest. You never know what you're gonna get.